Welcome to our custom space.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK, and I hope you're all doing well. So those of you that follow the channel know that I've been doing an awful lot of blooms lately, but in this video I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do a different style of bloom that resembles a rose, and I've never tried it before. So in this video I'm going to show you how to make this nice gorgeous little rose trinket box with only 4 ounces of resin. So if that's what you're interested in, let's get straight to it.
Carving where dreams come true. Epoxy magic.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK, and I hope you're all doing well. And this is going to be what I call a bit of a play around piece, and I don't know what it's going to turn out like, but I wanted to use a mold I haven't used before, and I've got this, I suppose it's like a little trinket box mold that I got from Temu in a pack of 3, which I haven't used yet, and I'm going to see what kind of box I make. I'm hoping I've got it the right way around and it does go that way, but again, I've not used the mold before, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to take more than 4 ounces of resin total. So I'm going to try and do this in a couple of different parts. First thing I want to do is put a black and glitter rim on the edge. I want a clear top with a bloom, hopefully. I'm going to try and also get a bloom in the bottom of this as well, on the bottom of the tray. And then around the sides, I want to see if I can get Petrie. So it's a bit of everything rolled into one little tiny box, I suppose. So first thing I'm going to do is just steal a bit of this resin, because I want it to warm up for the bloom anyway. But I'm going to steal just enough, I think, to go around the edge and create that rim whilst it's warming up, which I think is going to be around about that much. Again, I do it all by guesswork, guys, so I could be slightly off. I'm going to add a drop more then, just in case, actually, because I want to make sure it does go all the way around that rim. So there we go. I'm going to add 1 drop of this resin dye paste, which is black. And I say, I'm hoping this will just create a nice rim at the top of that box. And then I want clear to go in. And then I'm going to use alcohol inks and Sea Deeper to try and get some Petrie spores going down the side. Now, I haven't got a clue if this is going to work, but those of you that follow the channel know that I like to experiment with things anyway and see how they turn out. So that's what we're doing. So again, I'm just going to add 2 scoops, I think, of the glitter, because I do want it to be quite strong on the surface, but I want it to, as I say, just stay in that top surface. And I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So we are going to find out together though, guys. It should be a fun experiment and hopefully we'll get a cool result. But as we all know, with resin, nothing is guaranteed. So again, I'm just using that laser silver glitter. And then this is stage 1 of the process, and there's going to be a few for this. So I'm just stirring that round with that black paste, and I'm going to pour this hopefully just down the sides, not on the top, which is going to be the first complication. But we'll see how we go. So this is just going to go down those sides, hopefully creating a thin rim all the way around that box. And then that's hopefully what you'll see when it's stood upright. So we'll see how we get on. So again, just really trying to get the thinnest bit just around the edge. And already I'm seeing my first problem, I think. It's trying to stick to the side. But again, I'm hoping if I fill it up with clear afterwards, that will hopefully push it down a little bit more. Because I just want this in that rim. And if you can hear snoring in the background, it is Reggie, so apologies for that. Something about bulldogs and loving their sleep, I think. And I think that should be enough. So that's my black pretty much in there. And if you can just see around those edges, That's the problem I'm having. It's stuck to some of the edges, not to others. So I'm just going to give it a tap. That's hopefully going to encourage any bubbles out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal some more of this and just force clear resin down these sides. As I said, I don't really want any on that surface yet. But I'm doing this for two reasons. I'm trying to flush down the black, which I think I probably should have used a pipette for now. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit to try and get any bubbles out that are in there at the minute and just see what level we're at, because I do want it almost to the top with clear. There we go. And I think that is about it. Now the problem I've got is this has spread all of that black up. So I might have to rethink the whole project. But we will see. What temperature are we at anyway with the resin? So it's still quite low. So I'm going to have to wait a bit anyway. And I can see some bubbles coming up to the surface already, which in a way is good because it means I can get them. So I am going to pop those as they come up. But I'm deliberately not filling the rest of this surface yet because I want that to be at bloom temperature for both the lid and that base. So I may have to rethink this, guys, because the black is staying on the sides. It is mixing nicely with the clear though, so it is creating a kind of a cool wispy effect, which wasn't what I was going for. But I don't think I'm going to get Peter in there as well. I just don't think there's enough room. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick one of my alcohol inks. And try and drop it down the sides so it still creates sort of a red colour. And this is probably going to stain this new mould. There we go, pretty happy with that. So I can see that the red is going down a little. I'm going to go for it, you know, why not? I'm only going to do this experiment probably once because I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just shaking up my seed deeper. It'd be interesting to see what happens when the spores, if I get spores, actually touch the black as well. So again, just going to go around it, this edge. And see if I get any spores mixed in with that black. And that's it for this stage. Quite a boring part, I'm afraid. So now I'm just going to wait for the resin to get up to about 35 degrees. We're at 25 at the minute, so probably another 10 minutes or so. And then I'm going to pour the rest in. Now I think that's going to also pour those alcohol inks in, so it's going to create an interesting effect anyway on this base. But the main thing that I want the bloom to be perfect on, if I can, is going to be this lid. And if you can see, there's a bit of a ridge there. So I think that's naturally going to pull it all into the center anyway and give us a clear edge. But we'll find out. And as I say, it's just a wacky little experiment with a mold that I haven't used before. So I just wanted to see how really the mold works. And it could be that I get a cool piece, or I might not. So I'll come back in about 10 minutes, guys, once the resin is up to temperature. I'll see you in a sec. Right, and we're back, and I'm just checking the temperature. We're at about 34 degrees at the minute, so almost there now. And as I say, it's the first time I've tried this, but I'm also going to try a different kind of bloom. I want to try and get one in there and in there. But I'm going to actually try and draw in the petals with this little silicone stick, which I've never done before. I've always piped them in or done the spiral technique and drawn them in that way. And I think the biggest issue I'm going to have is this naturally, it comes in like that. If you can see just on that mould, there's almost a circle in the centre and it all leans down to it. So I think any petals I put beyond that circle are just going to get squashed, if you like, and brought in. But we're going to see what happens. I'm hoping that there's enough of a flat layer between those so that I can still get a bloom in there as well. And I'm going to try and get one on the base as well. Whether it works or not, I don't know. And as I say, we've already had one thing gone wrong on this project. So, but with resin, that is the beauty of it. You never know what you're going to demold the next day. And I think that's why it's important to just persist with every project and see what happens. You never know until you try it. And I'm looking around the sides of this and I can see actually it is creating a pretty cool effect where that black is kind of merging into parts where the Petrie's tried to drop. Now, whether it does fully or not, I don't know. So first thing I'm going to do is just take a tiny bit of this, and I mean a tiny bit because I'm not going to need a lot for this. I'm probably going to do 2 colours of petals, and I'm going to drop some alcohol inks. But I think that is literally all I need. So it's going to be predominantly white. I'm going to be using in 1 for some of the petals. So I'm just going to try and get half a drop of this ocean white pigment into there. And even this I think is going to be too much, guys, so because they're going to be so small. There we go, so that's kind of half a drop, as close to half a drop as I could get. And the same for the other one. But the other one, come on, out you come. Come on. So this half a drop of ocean white. I'm going to try and colour with alcohol ink as well. So the same colours that I used in that, just to give me a bit more depth, hopefully, in that colour. So that one is Sagilite, which is a nice red. And then I'm going to just give it 1 drop of magenta as well, which is a slightly pinker tone. And these are also going to be dropped on the surface of these. So hopefully it will create a real dark bloom is the plan, but who knows. So just going to mix up the white first. And I'm hoping that it's not going to be too thick, because I've never mixed this small an amount of white paste before. And what I probably could have done is just use what's left on my stick to mix the other colour, but there we go. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. And whenever you mix your white, you want it to be sort of opaque, but not too opaque. You still want to be able to see through, which I think we're okay with that. We'll find out in a minute. And then I'm going to mix this, and I'm hoping this will create sort of a really darkish pink colour to red. And hopefully that's just going to really emphasise those petals. And as I say, I've never done this before, so it could all go horribly wrong. We could just get a blobby mess, but I wanted to try it anyway to see what happens. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that's what we like to do. Try new things and see the results. Some work out and some give us amazing results, but others unfortunately don't. So it's just part of the process, I think, of working with resin. So that is my colours ready. And if you can see there, one's a white and one is sort of a darkish pinky colour. And I think they'll be quite cool for the petals. Just going to move this one out the way. And now the resin is at 34.2, so close enough for me to 35 to proceed. So this will be the interesting bit. First thing I'm going to do is the lid. And I do want it reasonably full. So I'm filling it pretty much to the top, remembering that I'm still going to be adding those petals. But I think that is pretty much full. There we go. And then the rest can just go straight in here. And it's going to be interesting if it pulls that resin in from the sides that we've already put in or not. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping I've judged it reasonably well. So that's that one. And then the last few drops can just go in that lid and make sure it's completely full. And again, it's the first time I've worked with this mould, so I don't even know if I've got the lid the right way around, guys. We'll find out. But you see, this is already pulling that in, which I thought it might. And I don't know what effect that's going to have on the bloom. But we'll see. Just going to torch off any of these bubbles that I can see. Like so. Because nobody wants bubbles. And then I'm just going to go for it. So I can see that they're already pulling in. So I'm going to start off with the white petals, and I want sort of longer to smaller. And what I am going to do is just put some alcohol ink down as well. So I want orange in the centre. And then I'm going to go with Sagittite, I think. Just literally around the edge. Just to push that orange back in a little bit. And it is quite a deep red, this Sagittite. So I'm going to just add a couple of drops of the magenta as well, which is slightly pinker. Like so. And I don't think we'll even see that orange now. So I'm going to put one more drop of that in the centre. And then that'll be my inks. Pretty much. I do like to experiment. So there we go. Pretty cool looking inks already. So regardless of how bad or how well I can do these petals, it hopefully won't matter that much. Again, just trying to get it to naturally drip off the stick. Starting off with these outer ones. And then I'm gradually going to come in as well. But I do want these petals going all the way around, hopefully. It's actually quite therapeutic drawing in these petals. But I'm just hoping to avoid the B word, which we all know. And trying to remember where I've gone as well, because they are sinking down as well, which I thought they might. And that's going to be part of the problem here, is remembering where I've gone and trying to get in the gaps in between, because there's so much colour on there from that alcohol ink. And I can't see where I've already been, which is part of the problem. Again, just carrying around with this white initially, hoping not to have any that are too heavy. Again, different sizes of petals shouldn't really matter. Hopefully it's all still going to pull in. So that's my first colour with the white. Now I'm going to go in with this pink as well. And hopefully that will give us a different depth of colour. And this will either work or it won't. But at least this way I will know tomorrow. Again, trying not to make any of them too heavy, but also making sure that I've got both colours going around both blooms at this point. And what I'm hoping is that this is going to create a different type of bloom to what I traditionally do. More like sort of a rose or a carnation, something like that. Something a little bit softer, I suppose, than the typical petals that I get. But let me know in comments, guys, do you think this is going to work or not? If not, it's a waste of 4 ounces of resin, so I'm really hoping I get some sort of effect. So that's that one. And I can already see the lid seems to be pulling in better than the base, which is interesting. Or at least it is to me. I don't know if it is to anybody else, but it is to me. And this is probably going to be the main visible bloom, actually, the one on the lid. So this is the one that I want to look the best. Whether it will or not, I don't know. Again, I'm just going to persist, taking my time, hopefully. Getting these different size petals. Just going around in sort of a circular motion. Some of them will overlap, some won't. I'm actually wanting some to sort of go in between, if that makes sense. But again, I've never done this technique before. I just thought it would be fun to try. I don't even know if I've ever actually coloured my white bloom paste with alcohol ink before, guys, so I suppose even that part's a bit of an experiment. So there we go. And I think that's about as much as I want to do. If it pulls in and blooms, I think this will be enough. And now, just to further complicate things, I'm just going to go around the whole thing in a tiny swirl. Hopefully gradually bringing it all in to that centre. Like that. And the same with this one. Again, I'm going to start at the outer edge and just sort of bring everything in like so. Just literally tickling that surface all the way around into that centre. and we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it, guys. Now, all I've got to do is let it cure up, and we'll see what effects, if any, we've got tomorrow. And hopefully, we'll have a nice little trinket box with a clearish lid apart from that bloom, with some weird kind of black Petri effect going around the sides, and a bit of a bloom for the bottom. If I'm looking at the two now, I think the bottom's actually going to be prettier than the top, which is a bit of a shame, but I'll take it. You know, if any of them work, I'll be happy, because it's my first time with this technique. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll demold this and see what it looks like. See you then. Morning, guys, and it is the next day, so I think these should be okay to demold, and I'm loving the back. To me, that looks amazing. But we will see what the front looks like. Again, the lid looks amazing. It's gone a little bit square, probably because it's a square mold, and I'm not even sure if I've done this the right way round, but we'll find out. So I think I'll do the lid first, which I'm presuming I've done the right way. We will find out. I did get a tiny bubble in the corners, so that's something to watch out for next time. Oh no, I think it's deliberate actually. I think it's meant to be like that so you can actually lift it out. But look at that. To me, it kind of looks like a rose. So I suppose that's been a success. Did get two bubbles though, one there and one there, and I didn't go around the edge with my silicone tool, so that's probably why. But do you know what? For my first rose, I think that's turned out pretty well. So that is that. Now let's do the base, or the box as it were. And again, I'm just really intrigued as to what it's going to look like. So the first thing is, it demolds pretty well. He says. Come on. There we go. It's the first time I've used the mould, so it's going to be, as I say, interesting. Always fold your mould straight back the right way round, otherwise you risk deforming them a lot quicker. So the mould's pretty clean, which is good. So these are the sides. I don't know, it's different, you know. The Petri didn't really work that well because I got the black around the sides. But where it has, I think it's created a pretty cool effect on the sides. Wow, look at that. Now, I don't know, that does look like a rose to me. So I would say, I think it's been a success, guys. And we've got that glittery black on the top like I wanted. And do you know what? I think that's come out really well for a first attempt. So very happy with that. Also, thanks to everyone that's joined membership. And I hope you're enjoying the perks and the early access to the content, as well as the prize draws that's going to be happening from January. Who knows? This could be one of the prizes. But no, I'm absolutely loving that for a first attempt. And then the lid fits in there perfectly. So there we go. Nice little trinket box with two roses. So let me know what you think in comments, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Welcome to our custom space where dreams take flight. A positive visions coming to life. It's a perfect sight. We born together, blooming three, resin family. Testing like us, new creations.